Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the SoundQ Garage Podcast. So this is going to be a season 1 recap. But before we get into today's recap, I want to start by apologizing for the delay in episodes. Work has been crazy lately and life has been running wide open. So the podcast had to take a brief pit stop, but I appreciate every single one of you sticking around. And so we're back now and there's a lot to catch up on. So we're going to do some guest updates and some updates for next season. So first up, we have Ryan. Ryan's been beta testing the wideband speakers from Xcelsus. And so I got to hear a demo the other day, and let me just say they sound pretty damn good. If you're still debating whether a two-way setup is enough, these widebands might convince you. I was honestly surprised by how clean and full they sounded. Full disclosure, though, the Xcelsus widebands aren't for sale just yet. Ryan is beta testing, and let me just say, so if Xcelsus just sticks with that second version that Ryan is testing, let me tell you, they sound really good. Doesn't mean you have to go with Xcelsus, but just take into consideration if you want a cheap setup or an easy setup, widebands is the way to go, especially if you want to just do two-way. So next up is Mike and his Volvo. Mike's Volvo isn't quite finished yet. I've been dying to get a demo of the Riven Up mixer. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but the car just wasn't ready. Knowing Mike, though, it won't be long, so that car is going to be a monster once it's buttoned up. I saw his car. I didn't get to listen to it. Everything was installed and buttoned up, so I'm excited to hear it as soon as he's ready. So Dan, my good buddy Cartoons too, he finally got to make an appearance to compare today's build compared to his classic 90s setup. Dan, if you remember, had a IASCA winning... sorry about that. Sounds like there's a car in the background. So Dan had a 90s, 96... Accord that they built, him and a good friend of his, Ray Broder, and they won the championship back in, I think, 96, 97. So I was, egging him on to come down to one of the meets so we could rub elbows, maybe break bread. But I didn't get to see him personally, but he did make it to the, I think it was the Virginia meet, one of the big meets out there, and he met up with Ryan and stuff like that, and they took pictures and had a good old time. And so it just... if you want to know his reaction, he told me that today's cars have a very digital sound. So you got to remember that's somebody's coming from the analog era, but he said that was really interesting and how the cars are built nowadays. And he said that kind of put a little fire under his butt, and he said he's contemplating doing one last build. He did tell me he was seriously considering buying Ray's Accord. He told me it's got a little bit, maybe a couple grand worth of fixing up, and he said the foam on the speakers was coming unglued on a couple of the speakers, and the carpet's coming up, but he said nothing that wouldn't, maybe a week's worth of work couldn't fix. And then there's Luke. Luke is actually redoing his setup, and that actually shocked me because, in my opinion, I thought his truck sounded incredible. But if you know Luke, he approaches everything with surgical precision. He pushes the boundaries. He obsesses over details, which isn't a bad thing. So I'm ready to see what he brings next to the table next season, and should be interesting. A little sad news about Miguel Rios. So Miguel shuttered down Waveform Tuning, which kind of honestly bummed me out. He had this unique business where he travels the country tuning cars and stuff like that and setting them up. And so his traveling tuning business was unique, and he helped a ton of people across the country. So after his move to Texas, logistics got tougher. The profit probably dipped. These days things are really tough, and he made the tough call. Miguel, buddy, you're appreciated big time. So Matt Kim is going strong here in Houston. He told me he started to expand his offerings from pillars to front sub enclosures and in full system installs. Proud of you, Matt. Glad he's doing good. Chris's Charger. So finally, I got to do some got some seat time on Chris's build. What he reminds me, what he's doing reminds me of those installs, the massive 90s installs, if you're old enough to remember. The ambitious, creative, and pushing do it yourself to the limit. So even unfinished, the car sounded really good to me. I can't wait to hear the final product. So with my build and what's next, I also got a lot of positive feedback this season on my own build, especially people who really understand sound quality. But you know how this hobby goes. There's always one more thing. Always trying to push it. So after sitting in Ryan's car, I'm seriously considering going infinite baffle. I already started to do the research. Think I might go with Acoustic Elegance 15-inch subwoofer. So I'm doing the research now. Might be the cherry on top for next season. Who knows? Just dipping my toes in the research right now. So for next season, we got new guests lined up, new discussions, and I'm introducing a brand new segment focused on gear talk and gear reviews. We're going to be looking, talking about DSPs, how to do basic setups, deep dive into mini DSP and Dirac, looking at DAPs, OEM integration, speaker choices, speaker placement, all kinds of fun stuff. So stay tuned. And again, thanks for being part of the SoundQ Garage community. Thanks for supporting Season 1. Stay tuned, pun intended. Season 2 is right around the corner. Thank you, guys.